Nigerian development partners to deepen cooperation as D8 conference opens in Abuja. Bank charges for cash deposits is suspended with immediate effect as central bank to redesign new series of bank and notes. And on global stocks, Hang Seng rebounds slightly as Asia markets rise. Plus, oil prices stable as rising U.S. crude stocks balance supply concerns. This is Business Express on the network service of the NTA, and we are reaching you from Abuja, the nation's capital. I am Benny Adams, your guide. Good to have you join us on business. I'll start by telling you that a coalition of developing countries comprising Nigeria, Bangladesh, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Malaysia, Pakistan, and Turkey, called the D8, have unanimously agreed to adopt the policy of leaving no one behind by creating a platform for access to networking opportunities, market, business linkages, knowledge sharing, and technology exchanges, among others, to benefit member states. This was at the opening of a two-day forum of member states in Abuja.
Agenda. It has therefore become imperative for D8 member states to jointly address the above issues with a view to taking advantage of the global markets and realignments. There are several windows that can be opened to enable member states share experiences towards creating an enabling environment for MSMEs to operate.
Trading health for an enhanced equitable access to pharmaceutical products for the most vulnerable population.
Our country is strong in trade of pharmaceuticals and medical devices and is willing to cooperate with the D8 countries on the health system and equipment. We will be happy to share our know-how in healthcare.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has made a strong case for increased Korean investment in Nigeria's economy as the government sustains efforts towards improving the enabling environment for businesses to flourish. This was while granting audience to captains of strategic industrial concerns in the Republic of Korea on the margins of the World Bio Summit. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
As of 2021, there are at least 20 Korean companies registered and doing business in strategic areas of priority across the Nigerian economy, thereby contributing significantly to the nation's GDP and creating job opportunities. At this meeting are some of the CEOs of such companies.
Nigeria is most important country as well as strategic market to our company, and we'll expand our business more actively in Nigeria.
Hyundai Heavy Industry Group has been continuing its business relationship with Nigeria, especially in oil and gas sector since early 2000, and such relationship had reinforced by carrying out nearly $10 billion worth of business in areas of shipbuilding, offshore, and plant construction.
There is a lot for us to handshake with our two nations. Nigeria is ready for business and Nigeria is ready for Korean investment.
For President Muhammadu Buhari, this engagement provides an opportunity to not only show appreciation for their trust and confidence in Nigeria's economy, but solicit for more of such investments in other critical economic sectors that can be mutually beneficial to both Nigeria and the Republic of Korea.
Nigeria remains committed to creating a stable and enabling business environment for foreign investors. I implore you, therefore, to take advantage of the many investment opportunities in Nigeria, especially in the areas of oil and gas, trade manufacturing, ICT, creative industry, and culture exchange.
He said with a nominal GDP of $431.9 billion, the Africa's largest economy, which also offers low corporate tax regime, value-added tax rates, flexible labor market conditions, and simple procedures for establishing businesses, is indeed a very attractive investment destination.
I look forward to increased investments by Korean private companies in Nigeria as we continue to make determined efforts to improve the enabling environment for business to flourish.
With the changed fiscal environment, today, we're one of the most competitive business environment in the world in terms of the energy sector, and these opportunities have started coming up. Our most recent engagement has shown that Korean companies are taking interest in what we're doing. And after these meetings, we will continue to engage, and that will bring the investment, and it's already paying off.
President Muhammadu Buhari also held a separate meeting with a group from Samsung Heavy Industries led by its president and chief executive officer, J.T. Jung.
With the dwindling oil revenue in Nigeria, there is nothing left now rather than to see how we can reactivate and open new frontier and windows where we have multiple sources of revenue and source of income that we can develop our own country. The issue of blue economy is the key. Our presence here open doors. We discuss intensively with Samsung industry on our requirement.
Part of the discussions, Mr. Jamo said, centered on the revival and development of the shipbuilding industry as well as the fishing subsector of the nation's economy. From Seoul, South Korea, Adamu Sambu.
Well, from Korea to Nigeria, we're still talking blue economy, where Nigeria is blessed with a large resource base of waterways spanning 10,000 kilometers. About 3,800 kilometers is navigable seasonally. 28 of the nation's 36 states can also be accessed through water. Nigeria can also link 5 of its neighboring countries, Benin Republic, that's in Port Novo, Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon, Chad, and Niger Republic, by water. How is Nigeria taking advantage of our inland waterways for economic development is the focus of our discussion on the program. And joining me via telephone is the Managing Director, National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA. He's no other person but Judge Mogalu. You're welcome to Business Express, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good. Let's begin by you telling us how much of the inland waterway resource is Nigeria taking advantage of?
Like you rightly observed from your opening comments, we have over 10,000 kilometers of inland waterways within the country, of which are, like rightly also observed, slightly over 3,000 kilometers is all year round navigable. You're also correct when you said that we can access 28 states by water. And this, everyone knows, is a great resource. It's a matter of to what extent have we developed it, and to what extent are we going to take advantage of the economic potentials. We haven't done much, I must acknowledge, in all sincerity, because the 10,000 kilometers is open for us to develop and take full advantage of. But it's a work in progress. A lot is also being done, trying to open up these channels, maintain the already opened up channels, so that we can put it to effective use and move cargo and persons within our country to the full benefit of the resource that God has given out to us as a nation.
Well, having acknowledged that it's a work in progress, I want to also us to talk about the 65% of Nigeria-bound containers that end up in the southeast. Tell us what NIWA is doing to minimize the congestion in the Lagos ports. What is the abundant alternatives that we have?
Yes, we are doing quite a lot in this regard because I acknowledge that for us to really decongest our ports, remove the pressure we have on our roads, that we have to put into effective use our inland waterway potentials. I agree with you because the volume of containers that move on our that arrive in Nigeria, containerized cargo that arrive in Nigeria, about 60-65% end up in the southeast. And that is a statement of fact. If we take an analogy, like I always do, that we have 5 million containers, just to speak, coming into the southeast, what that translates to is that 10 million containers will be on the road. 5 million trailers carrying 5 million containers, and then 5 million trailers bringing the empty containers back to the ports.
That's damage on our roads.
Our roads are not designed to carry such weight. The likelihood of our road infrastructure surviving that pressure is not there. So for us in NIWA, the National Inland Waterways Authority, we consider this a major challenge. We are putting a lot in this regard to see to what extent we can put into effective use the water, the openings we have within the water channels to be able to move these containers rather than by road, move them by water. We have engaged the key players, the actors in the field, and they are all agreeing with us, and they are all buying into it. We've done an experimental movement of these containers just to break that jinx, and it has worked. We have also seen where the difficulties are. We're talking with the Navy and other security agencies with regards to addressing the issue of security challenge so that we can be able to remove all those fears. We as an organization, we have engaged the badge owners because we intend to use the badges that will move these consignments. And we need to get the buy-in of the badge owners. And I'm happy to say that we have engaged them and they share the same sentiments we have, that there is need for us to put into effective use this water resource. So we have engaged them, we have talked with the badge owner, we've talked to the Importers Association because it is the owner of the goods that determines where his consignment is taken to. So we have also engaged them, we've talked with the Chambers of Commerce, both of Onitsha. We're about to talk with that of Lagos so that we can get everybody to have a buy-in. Because the moment we are able to do this and then containers start moving, we will help in decongesting the port in Lagos, we'll remove the pressure on our roads and save our basic infrastructure.
Well, talking about utilizing this great resource, information here is that you have successfully handed over the Onitsha port to concessionaires. Tell us about the progress there and also the state of other concessioning of the Ogota, Lokoja, and the Baru ports. Is that still ongoing too?
Yes, for us, Onitsha River Port is our poster boy. We've been able to conclude the process. We've handed over to the preferred bidder, Universal Election Consortium, with their technical partners, the Port of Antwerp. As we speak now, their managers from Port of Antwerp are on ground in Onitsha River Port, managing the port as we speak now. And it's one thing I'm happy about because one, it's a fulfillment of a program, of a designed PPP arrangement program. And that's why we say it's our poster boy. And we've tested that and it's working well. They've started, but they still require a little more time to be able to fully consolidate and be able to put the port into full use. The businessmen, the business community in the southeast in Onitsha are quite appreciative of what we've done, and most of them are keen into it. And because we believe very strongly in the potentials of that port, and with the expertise of the Port of Antwerp, coupled with the preferred bidder, who is their partner, I'm sure that we're going to actualize our desired objective, which is to make that port a viable port, a port of destination, a port that will impact very positively on the economy, not only of the southeast, but of the nation. Then having said that, we have received, like I did say earlier in my previous interview, we received unsolicited proposals from various interested PPP players for the management, for the construction of the Bokojara River Port that is under construction, and the Uguta River Port that is still also under construction. I'm happy to say that a lot of people have shown interest, and we are engaging them. We have also solicited proposals for those who are interested in managing taking over the Barrow River Port. Like you know, Barrow River Port has been fully completed. It's a world-class port with all the needed equipment all in place. That one we're also talking with the various groups that have shown interest. We're going to follow due process, get the ICRC involved, get the ministry involved, get everybody involved, do what is right. At the end of the day, whoever is the beneficiary will not take over the port and run it. We're looking at a situation where the private sector expertise is brought in to help in growing this industry.
This is good news. If I may ask, what is happening to the opening up of Lake Chad waterways? Is that also part of the plans, or is it in progress?
Yes, we just concluded a survey, the first phase survey of the Lake Chad access, and then as we speak now, the second phase of the survey is ongoing, like in some other locations in the country. So before you now think of opening up a channel, you must do first of all the survey, have your survey report so that you can be guided before you think about dredging and opening up any channel.
Thank you so very much, Managing Director Niwa George Mogalu, for giving us insight as to what is happening around the blue economy of Nigeria.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Well, moving on, the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission has concluded arrangements to start the process for carrying out the review of the remuneration for political, public and judicial office holders in the country. The chairman of the commission, Mohammed Bello Shehu, stated this during a courtesy visit to the chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum, Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State, in his office in Abuja recently. Mohammed Bello pointed that pursuant to the functions of the commission in paragraph 32D of part 1 to the third schedule of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, empowers the commission to determine the remuneration appropriate to the political office and judicial office holders in the country, informing that the last time the review was carried out was 2008, which makes it even overdue for review. And federal government has identified sites for development of more hydropower plants along the Benue River Basin and Niger River. Minister of Power Abubakar Aliu says this is in line with Nigeria's energy transition plan to diversify renewable energy sources towards achieving net zero gas emission. Joshua Jito has that.
Nigeria currently has 4 hydropower plants generating 2,380 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. For a country with huge hydropower potential, this resource is underutilized. The government is having a rethink set to take full advantage of this natural endowment. New sites for small, medium and large hydropower plants identified in Taraba, Adamawa, Benue, Anambra and Kogi states, with studies carried out. While the conversation continues among hydropower experts on the need to construct more dams for electricity generation, Minister of Power Abubakar Aliu, represented at the dialogue, says 3 new hydropower plants already completed and will soon be connected to the national grid.
The federal government is, in recent times, is embarking on several hydropower projects which are at various levels of development, in order to harness hydro resources in the country. Among these are Zingeru, 700 megawatts. This will be commissioned by first quarter of 2023.
The generation capacity in the country is low. So if we can take other sources of energy, maybe it's like solar, like biomass, and all that, and also add hydro, which is a major base load, it will be good for this country.
Nigeria's energy transition at inclusive growth through renewable energy and hydropower generation is the theme of the conference. Joshua Ojito.
Oil prices were broadly stable on Wednesday, moving in and out of negative territory after industry data showed U.S. crude stockpiles rose more than expected last week, though supply concerns and a weaker dollar give support. Brent crude futures for December were up 0.1% at $93.64 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures for December were up 0.4% at $85.69 a barrel. And still talking energy, Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Limited says Nigeria's consumption of gas has increased by over 1,000% in the last 14 days. The assertion was made by the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, NLNG, Dr. Philip Michel Bila, at the conference of Nigerian Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association held in Lagos. The MD said NLPGA and NLNG's intervention had seen the supply of LPG grow from 60,000 metric tons in 2007 to over 1 million metric tons. Let's take a trip to the commodities market. It's now time to join NECA for updates on global stocks.
Hello and welcome to the Global Market Review. Global stocks scaled a 5-week high on Wednesday, lifted by growing hopes that the pace of U.S. interest rate hikes could soon start to slow. European markets were unsteady with corporate earnings season in full swing. The French CAC was down 0.08%, UK FTSE also depreciated by 0.51%, while in Germany the DAX was up 0.41%. Stocks in Asia rose Wednesday as sentiment overnight improved. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index was up 1% after 3 consecutive negative sessions. In mainland China, the Shanghai Composite added 0.78% to 2,999.50, while in Japan, the Nikkei 225 was up 0.67%. U.S. stock futures fell after disappointing third-quarter results from Alphabet and weak revenue guidance from Microsoft marked a foreboding start to big technology earnings this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average futures fell by 28 points. S&P 500 also slipped 0.7%, and Nasdaq 100 was down 1.7%. It was mixed trading for African markets this Wednesday. South Africa's JSE Africa 40 rose 0.89%. Namibia's overall index also gained 0.78%, while Tunisia's Tun index slipped 0.14%. And that's Global Markets Review. I am Neka Oko.
Thank you, Neka. Let's now see how much the Naira is exchanging for other currencies at CBN official rate. That wraps Business Express for today. Remember to keep in touch with us, so do send in your comments, observations, and suggestions. Also be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on NTA's channel. You can also communicate with us via the various social media platforms. Business Express returns tomorrow, Thursday at 9:30 a.m.